I've been passionate about conservation for as long as I can remember. 8-year-old me was exploring a stream with my brother and our friends when I saw a large plastic container sitting on the riverbank. Everyone else seemed to ignore it, but I wandered over to it to examine its contents. After a quick examination with my young eyes, I realized that it contained nothing of interest and threw it back to the ground. My brother yelled up to me asking why I was not recycling it. I responded, "Why do I have to be the one to recycle it? No one else is going to do that." He said, "For exactly that reason." For some, this may seem like just someone being annoyed that their brother was actively littering. But for me, it was far more than that. The lesson of "for exactly that reason" has resonated within me ever since, and driven me to become increasingly more active in environmental advocacy. When we are ocean guardians, we're not making up for our own ecological footprint. We are making up for the ecological footprints of everyone who is apathetic towards the ocean. Mea culpa, by my fault. It is my fault, our fault, the fault of all of humankind that the oceans are a hot mess. With petrochemicals riddling our beaches, sea level rising to engulf entire nations, and the current mass extinction ravaging ecosystems everywhere, we can no longer ignore the prevalent environmental issues facing our world's ocean. We must accept that these issues are our fault, and work to make up for the destruction wrought onto the world by human development. The first step towards a sustainable ocean is through our everyday actions. Following the economic concept of the dollar vote, we support the industries behind any product we buy. Therefore, if we buy food, clothing, or other everyday goods from unsustainable sources, we are supporting those industries' methods and continued success. Understanding the impact of our everyday choices, such as polyester clothing having an impact on the oceans through plastic microfibers, or unsustainable fisheries can have through bycatch, or other everyday choices can have on the oceans, can help us to avoid accidentally supporting the industries that are ravaging the oceans, while also creating an economic incentive for industries to become more sustainable. However, past this initial step, the way we can truly make a difference is by branching out to fields beyond ecology. Damage to the ocean affects everyone. Socioeconomic divisions in society are magnified through environmental disasters that destroy low-income areas with a high susceptibility for floods and storms. Numerous effective medical treatments are found by studying marine organisms. As more species go extinct before we can discover them, we are losing an amazing opportunity to cure seemingly incurable ailments. As ecosystems begin to die off, the industries reliant upon them will also slowly die. According to the World Bank, 16% of the world's animal protein is derived from the oceans, and according to the IFC, 12% of the world's population relies on the oceans and aquaculture for their livelihoods. As these industries begin to fall apart, hundreds of millions of people from around the world will lose their jobs, and even more will lose access to essential protein sources. If we educate the public, lawmakers, and businesses on the implications to environmental degradation, we'll help to prevent further oceanic destruction. There is a gross misrepresentation of the modern environmental movement. Most people see conservation efforts as standing up for the voiceless animals and creating a more beautiful world. And however these are aspects to environmentalism, we have a far more grand motive in mind: the preservation of human civilization as we know it. We live in a society that is unknowingly incredibly reliant on the oceans and environment for its continued success. As ecosystems begin to fall apart, yes, we do lose their beauty, but we will also have hundreds of millions of people from around the world without a job, and without a way of feeding their children. This could potentially lead to the destabilization of the international community, usurpation of governments, and destruction of the society we all hold for granted. We must stand up for the oceans and the environment, not because it is reliant upon us, but because we are reliant upon it. Past generations worked to protect the environment so that their future children would have a beautiful world. My generation is working to protect the environment so that our own children will have a future at all. It would be an honor to be a part of the World Oceans Day Youth Advisory Council and aid in the effort to making a future we can all be proud of. Thank you.